JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, you're going to die. Security guard jailed for texting death threat to resident. A 26-year-old woman was remanded in custody by a senior parish judge on Tuesday after allegedly sending death threats via messaging platform WhatsApp to a resident of the apartment complex where she was stationed as a security guard. The allegations are that Samantha Edwards Smith sent a series of WhatsApp messages that read, "You're going to die. Your time must come and we're going to teach you a lesson." Edwards Smith was charged with malicious communication, to which she pleaded guilty in the Kingston and St. Ange Parish Court. Attempting to explain her actions, Edwards Smith told Senior Parish Judge Lauren Cole Montague that she was not in a good state of mind at the time of the incident because she was the only security guard working that day and she needed to use the restroom. She said after she used the restroom, she was berated by the complainant, who accused her of allowing an unauthorized person onto the compound. She said she denied the allegation and attempted to explain why she was not at her station, but the complainant started to insult her by calling her stupid repeatedly. This, she said, angered her and caused her to send those messages. "This is surely a breach of the terms of your contract," the judge said after listening to her explanation. Cole Montague also asked if the altercation had warranted such a response, to which Edwards Smith said, "I know that I was wrong. That's why I tried to apologize to her, but she wasn't hearing that." She was told by the judge that she'll be remanded in custody to await sentencing as the offense is a serious one. "Malicious communication is too much in this country. I don't know. There's a certain power that comes into people when they have a device in their hands," Cole Montague said. "She's a resident. You're employed as security. So even for you to be sending those kinds of messages to her is grossly out of order. You'll be remanded for a little while I consider what is the most appropriate sentence. Part of the message that I intend to send with sentencing is a deterrent," the judge added. The judge further explained that the offense was committed under the Cybercrimes Act, which comes with a fine of up to $3 million. Edwards Smith is to return to court on November 8 for sentencing. Theatre icon and pioneering broadcaster Leonie Forbes has died. Theatre icon and pioneering voice in Jamaican television and radio, Leonie Forbes has died. She was 85. Forbes was born on June 14, 1937, and grew up in Kingston as an only child. The National Library of Jamaica says she attended St. George's Preparatory, Marywood Elementary School, Micro Practicing School, Kingston Senior School, Excelsior College, and Durham College. Her first job after leaving school was with Sir Philip Sherlock as a typist, then with Playwright by a Record. Forbes became one of the first voices on the radio as an announcer in 1955 on the now-defunct Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation, JBC.
The following week he says, "You are doing the commercial." I said, "Me, sir, but I'm not ready to dead." However, I got the commercial, and when I stood up in front of that place full of people in Carrie and started to read, it was about Seprod and soap. Yes. And they started, and I say, "Hi, no go on, so man. Then if we don't read the commercial, we not get no money for the I broke the house down, and that was when I started learning to mix English, from being very proper and all that.
She spent 6 years studying at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in England, where she pursued a diploma course in radio, television, and stage. Forbes also worked on scripts for the British Broadcasting Corporation's Caribbean service. Forbes has played leading roles in 12 pantomimes and has acted in plays such as See Mama, The Rope on the Cross, and Old Story Time. She has also appeared in films such as Children of Babylon, Club Paradise, and Milk and Honey. Forbes also authored a book called The Re-Entry into Sound, along with Alma Makian, which is a standard text used to train broadcasters across the Caribbean. Forbes is a mother of 4 children. She was awarded Order of Distinction Officer Class Government of Jamaica 1980, Silver Musgrave Medal, and Centenary Medal. Licensed firearm holder among 2 men arrested following gun seizure in Trelawney. A licensed firearm holder is one of 2 men charged following the seizure of a gun and ammunition at a party in Falmouth, Trelawney on Wednesday, October 26. Reports from the Falmouth police are that about 12 a.m., a team visited a party in session when they saw a man with a bulge at his waist who was acting in a manner that aroused the officers' suspicion. The man was accosted and one Tang Fogler 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 11 cartridges was taken from his waistband. Another man at the party approached the lawman and identified himself as the owner of the gun and provided his license. Both men were subsequently arrested. Charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition is 34-year-old dispatcher Renardo Brown of Zion District in Martha Brae, Trelawney. The licensed firearm holder, 29-year-old Barrington Seaton, also of Zion District, was subsequently charged with aiding and abetting illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. 3 shot, 1 fatally in Waterhouse. 3 men were shot, 1 fatally, in a drive-by on Varma Road in Waterhouse, St. Andrew this morning. Police report that the shooting occurred around 8 o'clock and was carried out by men traveling on motorcycles. The deceased has not yet been identified. Superintendent Craig Ricketts, commanding officer for the St. Andrew South Police Division, said that the incident appeared to be linked to ongoing gang conflict in the area. Since this incident, the police have launched a series of operational responses, one of which resulted in the arrest of 1 male suspect and the recovery of an illegal gun, he said. The suspect, he said, is currently in custody. Last month, the police reported 50 active gangs in the St. Andrew South Police Division. 30-year-old man shot dead in St. Andrew drive-by attack. A 30-year-old man was shot and killed and another injured in a drive-by incident on Ripon Road in St. Andrew on Tuesday night. The deceased has been identified as Akeem Campbell. The police report that Campbell was at a stall around 9:45 p.m. when unidentified assailants drove up in a motor vehicle and opened gunfire. The injured man is being treated at hospital. Man who allegedly shot a police arrested and charged. A man who is accused of shooting at a policeman in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, has been arrested and charged. Charged with shooting with intent, illegal possession of firearm and ammunition, is 23-year-old Michael Smith, otherwise called Jonoy, of Fairfield Road in the parish. Reports are that on Saturday, September 24, a policeman was unloading his motor car at home when he was pounced upon by a group of men, including Smith, who opened gunfire at him. The policeman returned fire, during which Smith was shot. The other men escaped in the area. He was taken to hospital where he was treated. His court date is being finalized. Workers in fraud racket at corporate area branch suspended, says Sagicor. Sagicor Bank says the 2 employees implicated in an alleged multi-million-dollar fraud at one of its corporate area branches have been suspended. Assistant Commissioner of Police Anthony McLaughlin, who has the police's counter-terrorism and organized crime division, confirmed Wednesday morning that the employees have been charged. But he said he would not release the names until they have been brought before a court. Sagicor said its management uncovered the alleged fraudulent activities through its internal security systems. The investigation was handed over to the Jamaica Constabulary Force on Friday, October 21, 2022, and the implicated employees have been suspended to facilitate the progress of the investigation. The bank said in a statement on Wednesday. It did not name the branch. It added, "We wish to assure our clients that we take the security and protection of their assets very seriously. We constantly review our operations rigorously in order to promptly detect anomalies and liaise with the authorities to ensure that those responsible face the full legal ramifications." Sagicor said it will not comment further on the matter to ensure that the legal and ethical processes of the case are upheld. The statement was issued under the name Carl Williams, the Executive Vice President, Shared Services in Sagicor Group Jamaica. It's the latest case of fraud uncovered at a local financial institution in recent months. In July, Arsenio Johnson, a retail support officer at the National Commercial Bank, was charged with larceny as a servant and breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act and Cybercrimes Act of the alleged defrauding of at least $5.8 million from the bank. Family conflict linked to student brawl at Grange Hill High, says Williams. Education Minister Favour Williams has confirmed that the brawl involving female students at the Grange Hill High School in Westmoreland was a spillover from a conflict between their families. Williams said that the 4 students, who were separated by staff, are from the same community. A 30-second video of the incident surfaced on social media platforms on Tuesday. It is not clear when the incident occurred. A report revealed that the students are from the same community and that their families were allegedly presently at odds with each other. It is also alleged that a simple disagreement started the fight, Williams said during Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing. She said that an all-of-government, all-of-country approach must be taken in addressing the long-standing issue. Last week, the Ministry of Education launched its Just Medsit campaign to end violence in schools. She told the post-cabinet press conference that a UNICEF 2018 situational analysis has informed the government that approximately 80% or 300,000 Jamaican children experience some form of psychological or physical violence administered as discipline. It said approximately 60% or 240,000 students are bullied at school, while 79% or 296,000 witness violence in the home or community. Given these figures, we should not be alarmed that we are seeing violent behavior among our children, said Williams. She said that students are showing up at school psychologically and physically abused. The education minister said that there is an epidemic of violence among children, and that is just the hard, cold truth. She said that this is a mammoth task that cannot be left to guidance counselors, deans of discipline, senior teachers, and school resource officers. What we're witnessing in our schools is not normal. It is as a result of major psychosocial issues, which include family problems, depression, anxiety, substance abuse, sexual abuse, and violence, she said. So, if we're not convinced before we are now, and we have to treat with the emotional and psychosocial well-being of our children and their families in a more focused and concentrated way, said Williams. Promoters appeal for party ban exemptions. Party promoters in Westmoreland are being warned that no permits will be issued in crime hotspots between now and the Christmas holidays. The caution has come from Senior Superintendent Wayne Josephs, whose Westmoreland Police Division, up to October 18, recorded 124 murders since the start of the year. Permits have been and will continue to be issued on a case-by-case basis, he advised. But I want to hasten to say that if we're having any area in the parish where we're having an uptick in criminal activities, we will not be issuing any entertainment permits within those areas, declared Josephs, the division's commander. Wendell Dawson, Chief Executive Officer of Rolling Entertainment, under whose brand the annual December 16 are the only parties held in Big Bridge at the Allure nightclub, just outside the parish capital, Savlamar, said the industry should not suffer because of crime. Crime affects everyone, and it is sad that the entertainment sector is suffering because of the decisions of the police. If hoodlums know that security personnel are there, they are not going to go there, said Dawson. But as the annual Are the Only One party date draws closer, Dawson is hoping that the police will approve his permit, despite the area being a concern to the police. He said that nothing untoward is likely to happen 99% of the time if the police are present. I would say to the police, give the events a permit, but under the guidance that they must pay for the services of police officers, in addition to having a private security company, he said. Which sensible gunman would I want to attack an event policed by members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force? A pan-chicken vendor who requested anonymity for safety concerns said that the sales on the margins of party venues generated the lion's share of his income. He believes that a ban on events could evolve into a financial crisis for small-scale vendors. I understand the police are trying to do, but they must also remember that small vendors like myself depend on them events to earn a living to feed my family. They must do something to control crime, but not allowing an event to keep will affect us, the pan-chicken vendor said. That decision will affect us, especially now going to the Christmas holidays. We were affected during the COVID-19 period, and this is probably going to be our best Christmas in 3 years, he added. Westmoreland's divisional commander said, however, that the decision was grounded in evidence. A lot of times they can't go into their communities to get them, so when they see the gatherings, they strike, Joseph said, noting that police deployment was dictated by intelligence. We see we're at quite a few of these entertainment events. Persons have been shot, so we have to protect the people against themselves sometimes, said Josephs. We will not be issuing entertainment permits where we're seeing an increase in criminal activities. Joseph's concern is likely linked to a string of deadly shootings at parties in Westmoreland this year. Among them are the murder of 29-year-old Edward Mosley and the shooting of a 38-year-old hairdresser in Negril on September 27, the killing of 26-year-old Akeem Dulcie in Landilo in mid-August, and the deaths of Marshall Gale and his common-law wife, Sharice Murray, in a mass shooting in Sheffield in February. Cops on 3 men implicated in deadly Tivoli beating. The police have named 3 men as persons of interest in relation to the murder of 21-year-old Chevron Morris, who was allegedly beaten to death in Tivoli Gardens on Saturday for stealing 2 crates of empty alcohol bottles. The alleged incident occurred in the vicinity of Bombs Park. Morris was pronounced dead when he was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital following the attack. The suspects have been identified as Leonard Davis, a Johnny Logan, otherwise called YY, and a man only identified as China Man. Head of the Kingston Western Police Division, Senior Superintendent Michael Phipps, said that the men must report to the Denham Town CIB by 12 noon on Thursday, October 27. SSP Phipps also said that detectives were at an advanced stage with the investigations. In sports news, Garvey Massio lead D-Cup second round qualifiers. Defending champions Garvey Massio High led the first 6 qualifiers to the second round of the East Costa Cup football competition with a big 10-0 beating of DeKalb College in their second round return leg game in Muckle, Clarendon on Tuesday. 3 other former champions, Dintel Technical, Clarendon College, and St. Elizabeth Technical High, as well as Manning School and York Castle, all booked their places. Orlando Lawrence scored 4 times in Garvey Massio's win, while Eric Forrester scored 2, and Cleo Clark, Sherwayne Thomas, Shaquille Blackstock, and Everald Swaby all got 1 each as they completed a 15-love aggregate win. Clarendon College were 5-love winners over St. Mary Technical for a 12-1 aggregate with goals from DeAndre Gallimore, Christoph Graham, Carlos Jr., Malachi Douglas, and Kahim Dixon. Dintil Technical won their 12th game, beating Brownstone 4-0 for an 8-1 aggregate as Giovanni Affleck, who had scored a hat-trick in the first leg on Friday, scored twice, with Deshaun Talbert and Daniel Roberts getting a goal each. Stets were held 1-1 by Homer Technical, but advanced on a 2-1 aggregate, while York Castle had an easy 3-love win over Seaford High after beating them 4-love in the first leg, with goals from Rakeem Grizzle, Ahir Dixon, and Damani Miller. Shamar Hamilton scored the only goal, as Manning School got by Charlemont High 1-0 at the Stets Sports Complex in Santa Cruz for a 4-2 aggregate. Tuesday's results: Garvey Massio 10, the Cartwright College 0, York Castle 3, Seaforth 0, Brownstone 0, Dintil 4, Clarendon College 5, St. Mary Technical 0, Manning's 1, Charlemont 0, and the Stets 1, Homewood 1. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.